Was Michael the Michael Jackson movie as bad as the critics say it is, or is it as amazing like the stands say it is? Here's my thoughts on the biopic film as someone who is not a fan of Michael Jackson, but I also have a working brain girl and can acknowledge that Michael Jackson is the biggest artist and celebrity of all time. I feel like if Michael Jackson was still alive today, he would be a Disney adult. You know what I mean? And it's unarguably the greatest and most impactful music artist of all time. It's a good movie, a good time at the theaters. The performances are all great. Everybody did a good job. Jafar Jackson and Coleman Domingo and also Nia Long really tore their roles. They melted into their roles in such beautiful, masterful ways to where you felt each and every emotion from all of their characters in the way that they intertwined and engaged with each other, which I think deserves a lot more credit because the writing in this wasn't great. It wasn't amazing. I think that's where things get a little bit tricky for me because so many things can exist at once. And I think saying that this movie is a good movie, but even as somebody who is not a super Michael Jackson fan, but I can still acknowledge and personally say, let me know if the super fans disagree with this. I feel that Michael Jackson is the most deserving artist of an amazing and the best biopic of all time. And unfortunately, this doesn't live to an amazing biopic, one of the best amazing biopics of all time. Something that's quotable, something that's memorable, something that has scenes from it that can be clipped and shared and has moments and something with interesting shot work and set design and creativity. And ultimately, I feel like that's what this movie lacks the most. Creativity. Michael relies so much on the acting performance of Jafar, which is incredible. Like I said, stellar, actually, truly amazing. Give him his things for that. This felt more like a Michael versus Joe film featuring scenes of him on stage and giving us amazing performances and seeing Jafar melt into his uncle and feed the fans and people who love music as a whole. But in my opinion, it lacks so much creativity. Antoine Fuqua is the director of this. Antoine Fuqua is a director who's done music videos for Prince and other people, but he's also done iconic films like Equalizer, Training Day, and Emancipation. So he's worked with the likes of Will Smith and Denzel Washington. And I just don't think that with that filmography, or honestly with what we got, this was the correct director for this. Most of the complaints that I have come down to the composition and the way the movie looks. And it's not like it doesn't look bad. I just think it looks too perfect and pristine. And and it was a little bit jarring. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like if we're in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, I don't want to see 4K quality. Being able to see the Estee Lauder foundation that they're wearing in the movie, I would like a little bit of grain, a little bit of grit and contrast and interesting and creativity and intention placed into not just the fashion and wardrobe and those things which are on point, but put me in that world. You know what I mean? Don't just give me a Jericho finance bill and his bulge by the wayside and fabulous fashions, but then make it feel like I'm just watching these people who filmed this maybe a year ago. With this movie coming from his estate, I would have expected maybe some semblance of like live clips, actual clips from his tour, so we can maybe see some of the people from the crowds, or see like maybe clip in the crowd, like the stadium work there, because this felt like, you know, those movies where they create an artist for a movie and they show them performing somewhere, and you can tell like the very back is all like CGI. That's what it felt like, and I'm like, that takes me out of this is the Michael Jackson, the greatest artist of all time. This deserve a much better treatment, but that doesn't make it a bad movie by any means because there are so many great things and it's overall a good movie. And I think calling it a bad movie is disingenuous and takes away from the many good things that it has, but also ultimately still being disappointed because I feel that Michael Jackson, who I'm not a personal fan of, deserved a much better, much more creative and interesting biopic movie, whether it be part one or whatever. That's not even my complaints with like the pacing. I thought the pacing was fine. It made sense for someone who has a mega life and is a industry life human juggernaut who's been famous and talented with a pure God gift anointed talent from the time that he opened his mouth before even getting to a microphone. It was such a major, prolific, phenomenal life. I don't think that that was the issue. And anyway, it's not even about following the same traditional biopic formula that people really hate because I don't necessarily hate it. I think it's about execution and how you do it. There's been some other biopics and some, and one mainly that came out recently that nobody wants to see because a lot of us, myself included, didn't know who it was. That biopic was one of the best I've ever seen. It's up there where Ray and What's Love got to do with it. It's that amazing. Simply put, that artist is nowhere near as iconic as a Michael Jackson. So Janet being upset about this movie, no shade, I understand her frustration and also her not being included in this unfortunately impacted it a bit because they just pretend like she just never existed, like there was only one daughter. I do think that you should go see Michael the movie. It is a good movie. It's solid. I love how this humanized him in a necessary way while also quietly showcasing the fandom and the way that Michael Jackson fans really showed up in a way that I don't think has ever been seen in human history. At that time was the first to really have that effect. How this movie handled and discussed his race, his blackness, his skin, and his appearance, and also the relationship between him and his father, Joe. It's just I love those aspects. I love the quiet calmness and love that him and his mother shared, the popcorn and the ice cream, and how the sweet like and childlike wonder things that he had and carried with him his entire life, where those things originated from and why it lasted so long and what his peace and happiness was. I feel like if Michael Jackson was still alive today, he would be a Disney adult. You know what I mean? Like not in a shady way at all. Like, cause it would be so genuine and pure. But yeah, Yeah. Let me know how y'all feel about Michael the movie, whether you're a super fan, not a fan, or intermediate, just someone who just likes movies in general. If you're somebody who never knew who Michael Jackson was, which I don't I generally talk about, I won't put it in the comments. I won't even believe you. But tell me. Let me know what y'all think about this. If you're gonna go watch the movie, if you've already seen it already, do you agree? I just feel like Michael Jackson deserved like an Avatar type of treatment. Something new and crazy and different that we haven't seen. Something that made it immersive, like you were there on stage. Like something truly creative and inspiring and interesting to give and pay homage to the biggest and most inspiring aspiring creative of all time. All time. Those are my thoughts, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I simply think that saying it's a bad movie is, I don't know, it's a good movie, girl. But this should have been amazing, spectacular, speechless, inducing, passing out in the audience because of just of like the wow and wonder and amazement. This deserved a superstar treatment, and I think that it just got, yeah. Fuck it, I'll just say it. I wish that the Michael Jackson super stands and fans got something like a Better Man. The way that movie was done creatively, if you just take a risk and watch it, us the artist aside, like that music, and it's no shade to the artist of this movie, but that he got, I wish that the Michael movie got this treatment. Cinematically, the set design, production, cinematography, film direction, all of that, creativity as a whole, I wish that Michael would have gotten this treatment, unfortunately. And at that, even better, bolder, and bigger. That would have been truly thrilling. Did I eat that? Was that a dad joke? I don't care. If you disagree, be it. Thanks for coming to my negative whiz. Please let me know what y'all think about this. And don't roast me for not being a Michael Jackson fan. Hey, I can acknowledge the greatness and won't negate it or debate it, but I'm just personally not a fan. Love you.